In today's video, we're taking this AI meme agent here that we built a while ago using Airtable and Make.com, and we're going to transform this into a much better system. So I've already mapped out this system here of how we're going to make some improvements. We're going to build this in a much more sophisticated way using systems design principles. Plus, we are going to transform these Make.com automations into N8N automations as well. Now, this is episode 7 of the N8N and Airtable AI systems series, where I'm diving deep into how to build AI systems that are scalable. So if you haven't seen episode 1 through to 6 just yet, then I'd highly recommend you go back and watch from episode 1 so you can see how each of these systems layer upon each other. You can find slightly different building techniques within each of them, but that all of them contain the principles of building AI systems. There'll be a link in the description and the first comment in order to go back to any of these videos that you've missed. If you don't know me yet, my name is Mitch Asser. We've been building with AI for more than 2 years now, and we've built so many of these types of systems for our own brands and for our clients. In fact, we run MakeBigMoves.ai, an agency that helps businesses doing anywhere between $30,000 a month to up to $1 million a month, and we help them automate their workflows. The big thing to remember is that we build systems. We don't just build automations. Everything we do has some sort of system that allows an interface and maybe some analytics and dashboard to keep track of all of the different data that is getting generated and automated so that it can be scalable for teams and clients to use in a much more sophisticated way. Now, we also have a community with over 700 members who have purchased our templates over the years as well. So we've seen a lot of different ways to automate things over the years. We have plenty of experience when it comes to building these types of automation. In today's video, I'm actually just going to dive in and start editing this workflow with you. You're basically looking over my shoulder as we make these changes. Step number 1 is we need to edit the Airtable base a little bit. Step number 2 is then we need to combine some of the Make.com automations into we're basically combining 2 automations into 1 automation, and we're going to build the new automation inside of N8N. This just allows the system to work a whole lot more efficiently, and it just seems, you'll see as we go, it just makes so much more sense doing it this way. Plus then at the end, I'm going to fix up the Airtable interface so you can see how we actually start to build systems for our clients, because clients don't want automations. They don't care about the automations. They want a system that they can use. They don't want to be going inside of N8N to make changes or to change AI models or to change their prompts. Everything should be done inside of the system itself so that it makes it easy to train the clients. It makes it easy for your client to train their team members. And it makes it easy for just everybody to operate. So that's the main premise that we talk about here on this channel and everything we do at our agency. If you do want a full overview of how we built this first version, then you can go back onto our Big Moves AI channel and you'll be able to find some of the build videos that I had from this system. And I'll make sure that I link them in the description as well. But today we're just going to take this interface here and make it just simpler. Plus, we're going to build out this workflow in a little bit of a different way. So let's just open up this whiteboard that I've created. So you can see here, these represent the tables inside of Airtable. We've got our brand assets, which is essentially getting your brand name, your examples for your niche, for the different memes that are good. We're going to do some brand voice guidelines and so forth in there as well. We need a table for our video URLs. So we're going to download those videos from TikTok. So we'll use some scraping tools, and then we will upload those videos into Canva to do some editing. Plus, then we'll get AI to generate a few headline variations or options or ideas that you can use to edit the meme and put it together. And then when we have our AI models, I'm going to explain why we have an AI models table. And the number 1 premise is because we're building a system. We want to make sure that we can use any AI model that we want from inside the dashboard itself. So essentially, we'll end the video with 2 workflows. We'll have a download video from TikTok or Instagram. We'll be able to then transcribe the video. We'll then be able to auto create 10 headline ideas plus a post description and first comment for the video. And then we'll split the 10 headlines into 10 items and then upload them into this output field here. And then we'll make sure that these 2 tables are linked together so that you know which output goes with what original record. From there, the final thing to do would be to upload to social media platforms, and we can do this via Metrical. Plus, if you do join our AI Insiders community, we have like a full system set up for Metrical. So you could actually change this workflow and send it to your content command center. And just like a lot of our workflows, we send into the one place ready to post to social media rather than from the actual original system like this. But to make it easy, we're going to just post directly from social media here in this workflow. Plus, I do have a few add-on ideas. So there's so many other things that we could do on top of this workflow if you wanted to take this automation to the next level. The first thing to do, you could do some more management of the background video. So we're going to upload it into Canva and remove the background of the video via Canva. And I'll show you how that works in just a moment. But you could do it with automation as well. You could also then automatically create the video using something like Placid app or Creatomate. We could also build an image meme generator that takes different image memes that are out there and then regenerates the headlines for your own industry or your own niche. We could turn image memes into AI videos. That's like a pretty interesting system that we could come up with. And then we could also turn the concept of funny image memes into AI animation videos as well. So there's so many different add-ons. They're just a few ideas. And if you do like this system and you want help with some of those add-ons, then reach out to us at makebigmoves.ai and we can help with those. So the first thing that I always do is I try and get the Airtable database as structured as possible, ready for the automation components. So we need to come back into our database now and let's go into the actual tables. So here we've got our meme generator, our brand assets, and our AI models. So I'm going to change this to be our video URLs. And then we are going to add in a new table called AI output. Let's just call it AI output. That's what we call most of them. So when we're generating the AI output, the purpose of generating all of these in this field here is have a better structure for the system itself. And any good system has a status. So I'm going to call this output content status. And we'll say to do, in progress, ready to approve, scheduled or published, and then not approved. For not approved, we'll generally change the color and then we'll make this color here. So anytime a new record drops in, it's going to drop in a status of to do, which means we need to check that record out to see if it's actually going to be something that we use in future. Next, it's going to output the headline. It's going to output the post description and the first comment. So let's add those fields in here. So the first one is just going to be meme headline. The next one would be post description. The next one would be post first comment. And then we're going to be posting directly to social media. So we already have a lot of these set up on the original table. So let's just come in and see if we can find what we need for posting directly into the social media account. Here, it looks like the post to is what we're going to need. So let's just see if we can pull this one in. So we can post to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reel, TikTok, or Facebook Reel. So that looks all good. And if we come back in, so we'll already have those things generated. We need our published date and social media status and then uploaded. So it looks like if we just bring all of these ones in, and what happens if I just go like this. Okay, so we're just going to fix up this. This should actually be a button, and we'll just add a formula in there for a moment. We can call this button upload to social media. And then we've got our status, has it been published? So we'll change our content status to currently uploading. So essentially what will happen is when we hit the button to upload to social media, it will change to currently uploading. And then when it's done, it will change to scheduled/published. So I think that looks pretty good. Plus then we'll update these fields here to say whether it's been uploaded on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. We also need a few checkboxes for what platforms we want to upload to, we're going to post to. So I think that's pretty good to start. So the next thing that we need to do is link in the original record. So we want to link our video URLs, and we're just going to call this original video URL. So what will happen is it will link in this record back into the original video URL. And then we also want to pull in the actual video file. So we need to add that in so that when we upload to our social media platforms, we can just pull in the file from the database as well. So it'll essentially link in something like that, and then our file will be sitting here. Now, actually, that's not correct, because we don't want that to be uploading that file. We want to be uploading the file for the edited meme. So we actually need to create ourselves an attachments, and we'll just go, so an attachment, and we'll call this video meme file. All right, so that's basically what it's going to look like. Now, what I like to do is just give this first column here a formula to give it an ID, and we'll just call this meme ID. And we could make this essentially the headline, and scheduled date is probably another one that we would add in, and maybe the original file name. So let's go with original video URL and scheduled date. Okay, so I think that's a good start. So what I also like to do is just visualize this in the interface as well. This interface needs to change quite a lot. And generally what we do these days is we work from a list view for most of these interfaces inside of Airtable. So we're just going to create that. So first we need a list view for our video URLs. So this would be, we'll call this add new meme video. And we will create a form for people to add a new video. So we'll go open record creation form, link that to our video URLs. And we want to, so we need to add a few more things into that form, but we'll do that as we're building out the interface. So people can add the form, and then they can open this up. What do we need? This is all going to change a little bit, but let me just add this into the new, we'll add the new part of this into the bottom, and then we can come back to the rest of it later. So we're going to go generated headlines down the bottom here, and all of the different headlines are going to get generated into this workflow. And then once one is in there, then we'll come in and we'll change this. So essentially what will happen is we will open up this form, we will add in a TikTok, and we could also do Instagram. I'll see how easy that would be to actually create. We get the TikTok or Instagram URL, we add in our niche plus maybe a few other details, and then hit submit. And then we upload that video into the system. It goes into Canva, and then we begin to do the editing. So all of this is going to make sense as we continue to build this out. So the first step though is for us to build a workflow that downloads a TikTok video. Okay, so let's continue on now. We'll start building the Nan automation, and we'll make some changes as we go. So if we look at this workflow, how it worked before is we would click this button here, and then there were three ways that you could do this. You would upload a TikTok URL, it would scrape the TikTok URL, download the video, transcribe the video, and then use that transcription as reference for the AI in the future steps. Or you could upload your own video if you had one, and then it would transcribe your uploaded video. I'm not going to worry about that. No one really did that anyway. And you could also just create your entire meme from here as well. But again, this is not going to be created in this table. So it's actually going to be created in the second table if they choose this option. So it makes a little bit more sense and easier to follow the way that we're building it now as well. We're just going to do this option here. Maybe we'll add an Instagram component to this as well. And previously we did build it inside of Rapid API, but we use Apify now quite a lot. And I think most people do. Apify is just a way better platform. So let's just build this out. So essentially what's going to happen now is we are going to add this in here. So let's see if we can figure something out here. Let's just grab a classic icon video here from Australia with Bob, and we will come in and add this new video right in here and hit submit. So that should add to the top, and maybe we just need to reformat this a little bit. So we'll sort by created and the latest one first. So that one there is now on to do. So what we need is actually the button, the extract button. So we would probably put this in here, extract TikTok video. Let's add that in here. The other thing that we need to do is link it to a brand. So let's just open this up, and we'll fix this up as we go. Yeah, I kind of need to start from scratch. Let's just start a new form. So we don't edit a form, we want to create a new layout. So we'll call this add new meme 2.0. Number one is we need to add it to a brand asset. So our brand assets contain things like your brand guidelines, brand voice, excluded words and phrases that you don't want to use. The other thing we do is a writing grade level, but also meme examples. So we want to feed good examples into the system so it has a reference of type of memes it should use or the things that are funny. There's only a few things that are funny for each niche. So you want to feed all of that in so that the AI knows what it's working with. So we need to make sure that this brand asset is selected. So we make this a required field. Status is going to be to do, it automatically sets to that. We don't need a TikTok file. We do need the TikTok's URL. I think that's what that one would be. We don't need our status. All of these are going to get automatically generated. So this brand asset needs to be created. We're also going to add in our niche here. I think we can just add a new field and we'll call this, well, actually we should add the niche into the brand assets. So let's come back into here. So I've got a couple of examples in here. We've got our Big Moves brand. I've run a paddle page that had hundreds of thousands of views from the memes that we created using this system. And we can hide this logo field. Let's go insert left and we'll call this brand niche. Okay, field, so this one would be paddle and this one would be golf. So we want to pull in our brand niche into here as well. So we'll link this in. We can just go add lookup field, go brand niche, pull this in so that when we are pulling in our brand, so we should just be able to go, let's just do the paddle one. So we go paddle and then that'll pull in our niche. If we look at it from the data field, so here, basically we're adding this to, yeah. So as soon as we add that, we'll pull that niche in and then we'll be able to use this niche inside of the automation as well. The other thing that we actually want to pull in is the winning examples. So let's just see if we have these in here already. So we do. So we have, basically, I see what we've done. So we've done back in here, we've built a formula. And rather than having to add a lookup field for all of these different columns here, or these different fields, we can actually just add in to the formula the niche of the brand. So if we just go like this, and we'll call this niche, brand niche, and then we change this to brand niche, then we can feed all of these into AI as is like this. So what I would do though is maybe add a new line and hit save. So let's open this up. So we've got our brand name, Big Moves, brand niche, AI, brand voice guidelines, do not use these words, customer avatar, and then winning meme examples. Let's see if we've got some winning meme examples for the paddle brand. We don't. So let me just fill out some of these. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added that in now. So we've got our brand name, niche, do not use words, avatar, and then some winning meme examples that we can reference. So essentially what we've now done is we've linked this into this field here, and we can use this field inside of the automation when we're building out this automation. So basically, if we come back into our form now, so we go add video, we're going to add in our brand asset. It's going to pull in all of those things that we need. We're going to add in our TikTok URL. And so that means we're going to have a video that we can download from the URL. We're going to have our niche assets in here for the AI to use. And then what else do we need? Do we need anything else? At this point, I don't think we do. So let's just quickly check our diagram. So we're going to download the video from TikTok or Instagram, transcribe that video, auto create 10 headlines, and then split the 10 headlines into outputs. And we're also going to upload the video to Canva automatically. All right, so that's the plan. So if we come back into here and let's just hit publish. So we've added in our meme source and we're going to change this URL here into a webhook for NA. So let's begin. So we start a lot of these when we're working with Airtable. We start almost all of our workflows with a webhook and a button. So we'll create a webhook. We'll copy that webhook, and we want to respond using the webhook node so that it closes. So we'll just add in the respond to webhook, and then we're going to use some text. And then I've got some text saved to close the window, which is just script window.close, close brackets, and then script. So if I go execute workflow, come back into our meme agent here, we're going to change the formula for this field, or change the webhook. So basically we're changing this to NaN. We've got a base ID and table ID field in here, which we've grabbed from up the top in our URL, and then we'll hit save. So then if I hit extract video, it should trigger this workflow, which it does, which is great. So now we just need to get that information from Airtable now that we've got a webhook. So we'll go get a record. And then in that webhook, we've sent in the base ID, table ID, and record ID from Airtable. So we just simply map those in like that. So this is like one of the ways that we build so much faster when we're using this type of building technique. So now we want to grab this TT URL and use it inside of Apify. So we can simply just go Apify, open this up, and we want to run an actor and get the data set. So that means we need to go into Apify and find a scraper that we want. So I found this one called TikTok scraper, and it should just work pretty easily. So if I just come back and I'll grab this video here. So basically we just set it up inside of Apify first. There's quite a few options this one has. Basically we just want to use the video URL option, and we want to download that TikTok video as well. So we can click the download here. Subtitles, I don't know. I think it's probably just easier for us to transcribe it with AI. So I'm not sure how consistent the subtitles are inside of TikTok itself. So let's just hit start the run and let's see what's going on here. Okay. So it looks like it ran successfully. So should just be able to create the parameters based on this. However, it's got some search stuff as well. I think we just need the top one, right? So we just need this plus the should download video. Yeah, let's just copy all of that and then we'll see how we go. We want to find this TikTok scraper actor. So it's just Clockworks. So it should be in our recently used. Yep, here it is here. So if I go like this and just paste all of this in, basically we want to change this and we want to make sure download equals true, which it is. So we should just be able to change out this variable. So basically if we just go TT URL and bring that across over here and we just change this out. So we go like this. It's got the same in there. So let's just go execute step. Okay, so that wasn't actually correct. If I looked at this, we started crawling on 190 something pages for some reason. So we need to fix that because that costs quite a lot of money. So we should just be getting we don't want results per page. We just want to download the video, profile, scrape sections, video, sorting. Let's just see what happens if we just do this. So exclude pinned posts. We just need the URL and we need to download the URL. So let's just try that. Okay, let's come back and have another look at this. So we don't want that. We don't want any of this. So make sure we remove any of this, which is nothing there. Profile data, no. Okay, so we're going to try this one out now. So let's just pull this in at the bottom and grab this URL again. Okay, that looked like it might have executed correctly. For some reason, it's downloaded a completely different post. So that's quite strange because we're saying download this video, but it's downloaded something else. So there's some sort of setting that we've not found that is incorrect. So I don't know, that's pretty strange. I'm going to go back and find a different scraper. I think I just make it too hard. So let's just type in TikTok and let's have a look at this one. Some of them have crazy prices price per request made to each endpoint, $2. Definitely not. Oh, $2 per 1,000. That's actually all right. So we're going to check that it will download the video. Yeah. Let's give this one a go. So we just want to use a video ID. So video without watermark. Okay, so we just need that ID there. So we can sort that out in the automation. If we come back into Apify, let's just run that and we'll go save and start. Okay, so we've got that video now. So this one should actually work. So if we just go back into, or we can just maybe do the input field here, go back in here. So we go to our runs, our input field, we want to see the JSON. Okay, so we'll copy that. And this one is scrape TikTok API. So we come back in, let's pull this one now. Should be at the top of the list. And let's change this out. And basically we need to extract that ID before we get to here. So we could probably just create a code node and we'll just add in the full URL and we'll say, so we'll open up our ChatGPT and go to the NAN assistant and say, help me write some code. We'll go, this field provides a URL like this. We want to extract the number. So this is just an easy way to get some code for your automation. So we've got a simple expression here. We've got this for safer handling. So let's just go to the safer handling option, paste this in here, go execute. Okay, so it wants an array output. We just paste that error in there and it will fix up the code. Now we can get the video ID. So if we go for video ID and then we change that there, now this should run correctly. So let's just give this one a run. We're going to say this downloads video. Said it ran successfully and they didn't provide any output. So I don't know what happened there. Let's see if we can get this data set this time. All right, so there's a video URL. We've uploaded the URL, we've downloaded the video. Now we want to transcribe it. So we'll just go OpenAI. We may need to upload it first into Airtable. Let's just see. So we need let's go for transcribe a recording. And so this is actually going to be in a URL. So maybe let's go to HTTP. We'll just get this file and it should then send in a response, should be file data. Let's see if we can get that. Then this will be transcribe a recording. Okay, so I'm not sure why this isn't working because we've got an MP4 file, but for some reason it's saying that the parameters are not correct, even though we are using an MP4. Okay, so I'm not sure why it's not creating the right MIME type, but basically let's just see if we can add some code in here. So this is what I love about NAN is that we can probably fix this with some code. So we're just going to say to ChatGPT, new node. This is so basically we're just trying to get some new JavaScript code to create a new MIME type for this URL. So let's see if we can get around it this way. And we could actually add in a better name for this. Let's go open a record. We haven't created a name yet. So we could give it our ID. Well, that could be good. Let's just get it working first. So let's try that. And then let's see now if it has the right MIME type. All right, so we finally got there. We just need to send MIME type in this code. Basically, we just went back and forward with ChatGPT a few times and gave it the errors. And then eventually I just sent it a screenshot of my settings saying, here's the settings. And then it came back with, okay, this should now work. Send in this MIME type and then you'll continue. So overall that's done. Let's just check the model that we used here because it didn't get the text completely correct. So I didn't think about that. It's fairly close, but I think it's because it's a really thick Australian accent. So it should be, oh mate, don't say like that because that irritates me. And I've punched blokes in the mouth for saying that. Don't you dare say that. So blokes is not really a common word, and mate, not super common either. But overall, I think that's working now. So if we come back and look at our workflow, we were going to download the video, transcribe the video, auto create 10 headlines. So what we didn't do back here was we actually needed to add in the AI model in this form here as well. So if we go AI models, so we can choose what AI model we want to use, and then we'll go, let's just close that out. Let's go here. I like this status to be at the start. So let me just change that. And it's going to be for this brand. Source the file, the AI model. And then when we click in, we need the AI model to be at the top, probably. Let's just add the AI model here. And we can link and unlink records from here. So let's just hit publish. And we'll add in the model here called Opus 4. So we need to run this again. So let's go execute workflow, and let's execute this step. Come back in and let this run now. So basically it's going to download the video, get the file, upload the file into here. And then we want to go OpenAI again. But this time we're going to use OpenRouter. So remember we just chose Claude 4 as the model, and that's because we can connect in with OpenRouter. So I've gone through this a million times, but when you're doing this, you just change the base URL to the OpenRouter URL, and then now we can use OpenRouter. So what I've done is I've added in the AI models component into here, plus we have an AI model plain text field. So we simply just create that field inside of Airtable first, because if we don't, then if we just use the AI model field, because it's a record, a linked record, then it shows the record ID. So we need a plain text field as well. So we drag that Anthropic Claude Opus 4 in like this. So here now I can give the AI all of the instructions we need. So we need some brand context. We need like a system context. We need the transcript of video. And then we need the instruction. And then we need the output structure. All right. So let's begin with some brand context. So remember when we were setting this up at the start, we had this brand context field that we created. So I'm just going to drag that in first, and then we'll open this up like this. So if I go here, brand context, we've got our brand name, niche, brand voice, customer avatar, and then some meme examples. So our system prompt is, you're an expert at creating funny meme headlines. You do this by looking at the brand context, the meme examples, and then reference our transcript. We add now our transcript of the video, and then we add in our instruction. So we've already got our instruction in its other workflow. So we're just going to go to our generate headlines prompt here, and let's just grab all of this. So we're creating meme videos using viral videos from movies and pop culture. We are specifically creating memes for the brand above. Your task is to help us brainstorm 10 headlines for a viral meme video. Your output should be funny headlines that play into the culture of the topic and make people laugh. It should be relatable, offensive, or overly exaggerated funny. Output structure. Output this as JSON. Main field name equals headlines. And then with other field, with subfields. All right, so that's our prompt there. So we're saying output it as JSON, and then do not add any prefix or suffix into your answer. Here's the transcript, and here's all of the brand context above. Now we just need to output this content as JSON, hit execute step, and then we'll call this generate headlines ideas. I don't know what happened there, so let's just try that again. And while that's going, we can duplicate this. Okay, so I didn't output it as JSON. So we'll just get ChatGPT to write it. Okay, so we just made that to be a little bit clearer. Let's go execute step again. All right, there we go. So we can see over here now it's in an array, and we have all of these variations here. So what that has done now is it's still just in one item though. So we want to split this into, what we could actually do is generate the post description and first comment first. So let's actually leave that one there like this. And let's change this one to generate description, post description. And we could actually do first comment. We can do 2 in 1 here. So here we just need to grab generate first comments prompt. All right, so I've given it an instruction here, which is we're just saying we've given it some rules for first comments, which is keep it short and sweet, e.g. follow us for more niche content. Post description rules, keep it short and sweet, a few examples here. And then we want to output this as JSON as well. So respond only with valid JSON. Out should be one field called social post and an array of 2 strings. So this would be social underscore post, and then this will be post description, and this will be first comment. So let's see what happens when we go execute step on this one. Tag that friend, follow for more paddle chaos. Perfect. Cool. So we've got that. And then if we go to the next one, which is generate the headlines, let's generate that one. And now if we split these out into 10 items, and we should be able to then upload everything into Airtable. So that's generated the headlines. And then if we go open our split out field, we can just add our headlines field into what we're going to split out. Maybe I added the wrong one in there. So we should add in this one. And maybe I did add the right one. So now we have 10 items, and then we want to create a record inside of Airtable. So we can map in the base. What we could have done is sent in the base ID for the output table into here, but we could also just look it up or add the ID ourselves. So let's just do that. So we're going to add this into the Airtable output, and we're just going to go and copy the TBL ID inside of the Airtable base. And then here we're going to be, our content status is to do. Our meme headlines are what we just generated. So that's in our split out. So our meme headlines are like this. Our post description is what came before that. So our social post, the top one should be description. And our first comment should be the follow one. Our video meme file should be the back here that we downloaded. So we'll go add this one here, but we need to change this to a URL, which is going to be like this, I believe. So that needs to be an array like that. Post 2, we can change that inside the dashboard. We can add the scheduled date in the dashboard. The time zone comes in automatically, and then these get uploaded in the next workflow. So now if we go execute step, these should upload into the Airtable table. There it is. Let's just remove these old ones out of here that we no longer need. All right. So it's added in our headlines, and to add it in the video into each of those files or each of those records. Now, the one thing that we didn't do is we didn't map it back to our original video URL. So we need to do that. So if we come back in here now and we go to our original video URL, and what that is essentially the record ID from back here. So in order to add a record ID, we need to add it in an array. So we just do this. Add in the ID, simply put that ID inside of here, and then go execute step. Let's give that one a go. So you can now see it's added in the original ID that we started with. So we're just going to delete all of those out of the way. Now, we also need an ID for our video URL. Okay. So what I would do is actually go to Airtable, and we're going to go update a record here because we want to add in a status update. So we'll just come back in and we will map this out. So let's go base ID, table ID, record ID, and then we want to change the extractor status to extracting. And then let's just remove all of these. And then we want to update that field back over here again. And we want to change this to completed. Extraction complete. So we can actually change this dashboard quite a lot. I thought I'd need to upload the video back into this field, but we don't. We can just simply upload it into here. Actually, that's not what we want. This is going to be the final video. So we don't want to upload this video. So I did get it wrong. So we come back in here and let's remove this video meme file. That's the final version after we've done the editing. We actually we have to upload it into Canva as well. So we want to upload the video file into the original record. So let's add that in here. TT video file. Let's add that back in here like this. All right. Cool. So that's going to run. So let's just come back in and check this workflow here. So if we go launch, what should happen is it should load the video into this file here, or into this field here. So let's figure this out. So let's fix this up. So up the top here, we want our source. We don't care about the author. We want to choose our model and we want to choose our brand. So they're all the things that should go there. Then we extract that video from here. Next, the video is then added. So we got extracted video. And then the transcript, we could actually upload the transcript as well. So that'd be a good idea. Okay, so that code node is not being super reliable. What I might try and do is build this into the Airtable base instead. So let's just go open up ChatGPT and let's get the Airtable GPT and say, create me a formula that extracts the number from this URL. So if we just go formula and we want the meme source URL, so we'll just go TikTok video ID, and then we just go and add that formula in here, but we change this to, what did I say it was? Meme source URL. Obviously that's not the right name. So let's have a quick look what it is in the TT_URL. Cool. So let's come back in. Let's remove this. Let's trigger a new, oops. Okay. So if we bring in that new field, that should be much more reliable. So let's just try this again. We'll pin that data and then we'll go execute workflow. And now hopefully this is going to run through and just be a little bit cleaner for us. So it should download the video, get the file, transcribe it, generate the posts, and then we will update the record with the transcript as well here at the end. Okay, so we don't actually need that there. This transcript gets generated, and then from here, we should just be able to link in our AI output and see all the outputs here. So if I go allow, we can then click into the status component of this workflow. All right. So if we want to upload the transcript, so we'll just execute that. And if we come back into our dashboard, if we open this up, we can now see we've got our brand assets, our URL. We've gone extract video, and it also creates the headlines, and then it adds the video here. Plus it then has our transcript and then all of the headlines that it's generated down here. Now, what I'll probably do is once we open this up, we make it a full screen, and that will just be a little bit easier to work from. Cool. So we're not done yet. Nearly done with this workflow. Next, we just want to upload that video into Canva as well. So here I know that we're going to have to, or I'm pretty sure we have to do a HTTP call. Here we do. So HTTP requests is probably going to be a post, I imagine. I was looking at this a little bit previously. So yeah, a post. So we've got create asset upload job via URL is what we're going to do, but we need to do an authentication as well. I think down the bottom here, we've got our access token. So basically we just need to follow the instructions laid out to us here. Okay, so Canva make it ridiculously hard. Okay, so for Canva, we are going to create an OAuth 2 integration. So let's go create new. We'll call this Canva integration. So we need our authorization code. We need a redirect. So if we come back up into here, we've got our authorization here. So we've got our client ID. Basically, we need to add our scopes. So I've basically just ticked all the ones that I think we'll need. Main thing we just need is asset, but I ticked a few others as well. If we go to authentication, we've got our callback URL here. Let's see what else we've got. Return, enable navigation, submit for review, manage integration. So I don't think we need any of those. So we will need our client ID and our client secrets, authorization URL and access token URL. Should just be this, I believe. And then our access token URL should be what we had before, the API REST. So here should be in our API requests and responses, then the request should be this one here, I believe. So if we go in and we add our access token, let's just hit save for a second and go connect my account. Not quite. What have we missed? So, I mean, the only one that's pointing and that's like standing out here is the scopes. So if we go to our scopes and how do we copy all of this? So I just copied the scopes from here. So let me just go back in, make sure we turn it all on, and let's paste in all of our scopes here. And let's see if we can connect the account now. Okay, so we've got the grant type, we've got our authorization URL, access token URL, client ID, client secret, scope. We've added all the scopes in here. And then our authentication is the header. So let's go connect my account. Here we go allow. And now we have an integration into here. So we should be able to upload now. So we come back down to our assets and we go create asset upload job via URL. Let's go and change this to post. So this would be post. We add this in here like this. Content type application JSON should be correct. Yes. And then we need our URL string. So let's just grab this like this. And if we go send body JSON using JSON, and then we'll add this in here. Our name, I don't think we really need a name. Let's just see if we can do it with the URL. And the URL is going to be the file like this. And then let's go execute step. Okay, so we do need a name. We'll just call this screen video by record ID and the date. All right, now let's try this. Invalid JSON. What have I messed up? Oh, we need a little comma. Let's go back to our. So maybe it also needs the MIME type. So let's see what happens if we add it in here and we go send binary file data. Okay, so let's try this again. So we've got our TikTok file. So we're going to see if we can pull it in from Airtable. It might be a little bit more reliable. Let's then give it a name. So we're going to give it a name of video. We'll just call it green screen, meme video, record ID. And then let's go. So again, it's saying that it already exists. Let's just see what happens if if it exists already. We want to do something different. We want to make sure it still uploads because we need to match it to the original record. So come back into our ChatGPT and let's see if we can add this. All right. So that might have got it. So we just added a cache and date now to the end. And let's now check our Canva account. Okay, so I just added one more thing in there. So basically I forgot that we had our 10 items. So I just put in an aggregate node. So we got it back down to one item and then updated our HTTP JSON here to just include the first record. So it uploads into Canva just one time. Because if we come and have a look at our Canva account now and we look, maybe give this a refresh, there's a lot of videos in there accidentally. So if I go into our projects and then across into videos, then we should be able to see that this is our most recent one here that we just uploaded. So let's just delete all of these others down. All right, so that's workflow number 1. So let's just hit save on that. And let's do a quick little recap of what we've built here. So essentially we trigger this with a webhook. it gets the record from Airtable, it updates the status to say that it is extracting the video. The video then extracts using Apify. We get that file from Apify, pull it into NAN. We send the MIME type so that it will transcribe the video. We then generate a post description and first comment. We generate some headlines. We split them out into 10 items so that we can create the records inside of Airtable. We update the original record to say that the extraction has been completed. We aggregate that back down to one item, and then we upload the video into Canva. So if we come back into our workflow now, and let's open up this first one. So we add in all of this stuff up here. The video gets added into here as well. It then adds the transcript here, and then all of the headline ideas are added down here. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Let's see if we can go edit and see if we can just clean up these fields. So we want to keep the status. Yeah, I mean, even if we try and change that a lot, it doesn't really work. I mean, you can kind of see the headlines directly from here. So we can read the outputs from here. I mean, that's a brutal one. We definitely don't want to be in provoke or like condoning violence against your wife. This is a good one. I like this one. The face you make when someone suggests playing pickleball instead of paddle. And it wouldn't be, I would just say, so do a little bit of editing, POV, when someone suggests playing pickleball instead of paddle. So that would actually be pretty good. So what we do now is we just grab that. We come into here and let's just delete this one out. We paste this in here. Maybe we'll make that a little bit bigger. We'll just make it look a little bit nicer. And then we bring in our video here. So we'll just crop this out a little bit, remove the background, make it a little bit bigger. And this is our meme.
Oh, mate, don't say that, because that irritates me, and I punch blokes in the mouth for saying that. Don't you dare say that.
I like it. I'm actually going to post that on my page. All right. So then we just download this, and then we can come back into our workflow now. We'll go add in our time zone for when we want to post, add in our schedule date. So it can be, let's add in tomorrow. We want to post to all of the channels. And what we could do is we could set this up so these automatically get added. And then instead of adding them, we can just remove them if you don't want to post them to all of the channels. And then we simply wait for this to download. So while we're waiting for that to download, let's actually fix this up. So when we create a record, we should be able to go in here and go to post to. And if we put it in an array, and then grab all of those titles exactly as they are. So we'll just copy that. And we may need to just go like this. I think this will be right. Let's try that again. We'll just ask ChatGPT to make sure we get it right. All right. So that should work like that. Let's just try again. All right. So that's executed successfully. Let's come back down and have another quick look at this. I mean, this one was close. We can always just change the headline back to the one we had before. All right. There we go. So it's added all of those in successfully. So now we can just do something like this. We'll just go add in the Brisbane time zone. We then grab our video. We upload this video into here. And then the next flow that we create will be upload to social media. So that's how this system works. So we'll be able to upload here and then change this status to scheduled and published, which can then remove it from this workflow. So all of this stuff down here, step 2, final caption, blah, 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 all of this can be deleted from this workflow because we've now built a much simpler and easy to follow workflow. So we'll just delete these out of the way because they're going to be generated in the next component. So let's hit that. I mean, we kind of need to generate a name for this. So the name, I mean, we could just change this to the headline field, I guess. Or the headline fields are different. So how are we going to do this? We could just do like the created date, I guess. So in here, we'll just go brand asset and created date. So we've now successfully done workflow number 1. And now we need to do the second workflow where we take the final product. So the post description, the headline or the meme itself, the time that we want to post, the first comment, and we send that into our social media platforms. So the way that we do that is we use Metrical. So we actually have a content command center, and we built this because we have a whole bunch of different content automations. Rather than build an automation from every single content system that we have that then post into social media, so having to build one from scratch every time, what we thought we would do is we would send all of our posts into this one dashboard, and then we can schedule our posts directly from here. So if I open up this one here, then you can see we've got all of the things that we require for posting to social media. Then we hit schedule post, and it runs through this simple automation where we've created some code that was required for formatting it correctly for Metrical, and then it posts to Metrical and updates the status inside of Airtable. So if you join our community, you get access to this template for free, and you can actually change this system here, the meme system, to go into that version there. And if you need help with that, just reach out to the team. We can probably provide an automation from this meme workflow into that system as well. But to keep things in the one system for this workflow, then I'm actually just going to post directly from our meme system into we can just create a piece of code that generates all of the reels and so forth. So in order to do that, we're just going to write a bit of code, and hopefully we can reference this code with ChatGPT, and then it will go off and it'll create the right things that we require. So why is this not working? Now, since I've already done this before, then I'm just going to copy all of this, and hopefully we can just use the exact same settings, and I'll just explain them. So let's create a webhook. I'm just going to change the webhook ID, and we'll grab that webhook. We'll come back into our meme flow. So in here, we're actually hosting from the AI output. So if I go edit pages and we open up this, and then we're uploading to social media from this button here. So I should just be able to go and add our webhook in here, and then grab we've already got our base ID. Let's see if we can find it. Nope. So what I'll do is I'll hit save. So just in our AI output table now, we open up this formula, and we're just going to go and add this in here. We get our app ID from the URL, and we get our table ID from the URL, and we add these in here, and we should just be able to go save. Next is we want to then, let's just test this workflow. So let's just go execute workflow and see how it runs. Cool. So here we're going to go into ChatGPT and say new job, new task. All right. So in order to do that, we need to get all the fields that are required for ChatGPT to use. So we need the post description, the first comment, and what if we try this? There we go. Use the JSON below to get the fields required, and I'll name those, and we'll say, I think the time zone issue actually is a problem. So we probably need to post in UTC time. We'll say use UTC time. And we also need the video meme file URL. All right, let's just try that. So basically what I'm saying is this time zone, when we're building the code, we couldn't get that to work. So we were just building it out in UTC time. And basically what we did was we added in a formula up here to tell us what the UTC time was now. So let's just open this up and we'll get this same code. So we're just going to create this in the dashboard, and then we'll say formula. We'll call this UTC time now. And for the schedule date, we're going to remove the time, and then we'll just add in a UTC time in a single line text. And we need to tell ChatGPT that we just changed that. So we're just going to tell ChatGPT that we've added that field and that we will add 24-hour time to that field so that it knows what time to actually schedule it. So it should fix that up. The other thing we need to make sure we have in here, which we actually don't, is the brand asset. So we need to link in our brand asset. And we're going to have to fix up automation number 1 for this as well, because we need our metrical IDs. So here we'll bring in our brand ID, and we also need our blog ID, I believe it's called. So we can add this in manually for now. And we need our ID. Well, it's metrical user ID is what it should be called. So basically what I just did is add in make sure we have the user ID and the brand ID, and then told ChatGPT that we just added those fields in as well. So it should now just go and rewrite it all again, because we definitely need those IDs inside of the code. So let's hope that it gets all of this correct. All right, so now we should be able to paste this in here. Let's see how it runs. Okay, so we haven't got a user ID or brand ID. So that means it just hasn't pulled in the right field. So in order to do that, well, the reason is because we probably need to run this from the start again. So let's just do that. All right, let's have a look now. So yeah, we've got our user ID and we've got our brand ID. So it's pulled in that correctly. Now we've got our poster metrical as errored out, which is the reason is because we need to do our blog ID and user ID in here. So we need to map these in here. So if we go get a record, and the first one that we want to add in is our blog ID or a brand ID. And then why is that not adding in? And then we add our user ID in here. Plus we add in our access token, our API key. And then let's hit execute. So since we're adding it in there, then we probably don't need it inside of here, which is probably just the code that we had up here previously. Let's grab this one. So we need the code that actually doesn't have the user IDs in them. So we go, when uploading to Metrical, we get this. Yeah, it's still not following it. Basically, let's try Claude. Claude actually is a little bit better with code. So we're going to go new chat, and we're going to make sure this syncs properly. Let's go new chat, and we'll go use extended thinking. We can use research and say, help us create some JavaScript code for NAN that formats JSONs and post to social media from Metrical. We do not need user ID or blog ID as we add that in the next step. We have some code that works for all types of posts, reference below. You can use that. Only want to post, need to give it our UTC scheduled time. All right, let's give that run for a moment and see how it goes. So we're using their best model. We're giving it a lot of information, so it should get it, I believe. All right, so it's created some code there. I did find one error in it. If we go to the TikTok section, saying auto add music, which I don't want. So we'll just say false. So let's execute step now. So the issue is that in the original version, we have different fields for all of the different platforms. So we have one here for checkboxes for posting to Facebook and so forth. So like Facebook posts, we have a drop down, Facebook title, TikTok title. So we fill out a lot of extra information. So we need to figure out a way for the AI to actually do that for us. So let's see if it gets it this time. We could be close. Let's try it now. So it looks like it's just a date time issue, which is the hardest part for the code because the Metrical API is not super clear as to how it wants it. So we're forever going backwards and forwards trying to figure out the best way. So let's see if it gets it now based on this error. And looks like that may have just done it. So let's quickly check what's going on in here now. We can see that it's added it into the system. Perfect. So that posted at 10 a.m. on Friday. Now, I don't think that's the time that I added, although I did say UTC time. So let's just check that in the system. So if we go time zone converter and we'll put in Bali time and we'll say 10 a.m. Friday, and then we'll put in UTC, should be 2300, 0200. So I'm not sure what's happened there. Got 22, so it'd be 10 p.m. No, that is actually correct because this is in Brisbane time. So let's change that. Let's change this one to Brisbane. Still not correct. So we need to figure that out, but it's at least somewhat working. So where do we start? If we come back into here and then we go, it's working. The time zone is off. Here's our JSON input. The code then creates this output instruction, figure out the time zone issue. All right, we'll let that run. While that's running, we can actually just fix up this file. It's actually split it into 4 items. Yeah, that's correct. Split it into 4 items for the 4 different platforms. While that's running, we can say now that it has posted to each of those platforms. So how do we say this? We need to actually do some code here. So we'll come back into ChatGPT and say, now we want to get a true or false status for each platform. This post has been created. This post has been scheduled on. So we can update Airtable checkboxes for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Help create some code for this. Here's the JSON. All right, so we can have that AI run off and do that one. And then let's come back and let's try this again. All right, that looks like it's a bit more accurate. Let's go now execute step. And let's check our Metrical. So 8 a.m. Saturday. So if we go Saturday, 8 a.m. Nope, that should be 8 a.m. Saturday. Should be 2200. Perfect. Nailed it. So we've got that one working. Now let's just check our ChatGPT and see if this code works. So let's go back into here. Go paste that in here. Go status, form status, and it's saying false. So we need to know like what is the determinant of whether it has been posted to that platform or not. So it should be like posted Metrical. I mean, I don't think we really need that, honestly, because we can just send back the data from Metrical. So here we can just come back to content status. We can say scheduled and published. Yeah, I mean, that's all we really need to do. We don't need to go crazy. All right. So if we come back into our interface now, and let's just do a little update. Open this one up. We can just delete this. We don't need any of that. It says up here it's been scheduled. What was this one? I think that was brands, right? Brand asset. All right. So now we just need to fix up workflow number 1 again, and we're good to go. So workflow number 1, when creating a record, we also need it to create the brand asset. So let's just see if we can pull in an old execution here. Be a lot easier than again. So if we go to create a record, we want to bring in the new fields, which is our brand asset, and that brand asset should be in get a record. So if we open up get a record and we look for brand asset, here it is right here. So we add that in like this, but we want to add it in an array. So that should work. Let's just turn both of these on and see if it works in production. So if we turn them both on, we need to remove the webhook test from the formula. So we'll remove test from this formula here. So we just have a standard webhook, and then we do the same in our AI output field, and then we'll just remove this here. So before I do a test, let me just recap what I've done in this flow number 2. So we've triggered it via webhook. We get the record from Airtable. It pulls in all of the information we need from the post. This code here formats the post required for the Metrical API, then uploads it via the Metrical API. It then will look like this inside of here. And then it will update and say it will re-update the record inside of Airtable and say that it has been posted or scheduled and published. So the way that this would now work is we will go add a video, and let's grab our TikTok URL again, come back into our dashboard. We choose our brand asset. We choose the model that we want to use. We add the URL, we hit create. That then adds to the very top. We can then go extract video. The first workflow will run. And then when it's ready, it should update here, I believe. I think we changed that, right? Let's just have a quick look, see if this is running. So yeah, the first workflow is running. We need to actually change the status. So it tells us that it's actually extracting. So we didn't do that yet. So this status should get changed as it's operating. Let's change that to in progress. So we'll just wait for this to run. All right, that's it. So let's come back here in the update record. Let's change our other status as well to in progress. That'll be changed to in progress. And for the interface, we could actually add an extract status. So let's go status, extract a status. There we go. So we're able to see that's in progress. We then see all of here. So we have the same one again. We go into our Canva account. We get this video, or we create this video in here. We would update that if we wanted to. We then choose a schedule date in the future. We need to add the time into here as well. So let's just add that. Let's add in the other time, the formula, so we can see what time it is now. So we add in the time. We then upload the file here, and when we schedule that onto social media, it will then update this status as scheduled and complete. Very cool. So that's how the workflow operates. Now I'm going to clean up all of this on my own and then come back to you with how it all looks. But overall, we have made some good progress here. So let me just clean up the rest of this workflow, make it a little bit tidier and cleaner. It's a really big mess right now. And then I will show you the final product. Okay, so here we are now with a much cleaner dashboard, and here's how it works. So we open up the add new meme video, we add in our video URL here, we select our brand asset, we add in the AI model that we want to use, and then we hit create. From there, that then pulls in all of this information. We extract that video, which then triggers this workflow here. It then pulls in the video or the URL from the Airtable workflow. It downloads the video, it gets that file, it then uploads that file to OpenAI to transcribes it. We then generate a description and first comment. We generate 10 headline ideas. We split out those 10 headline ideas and create a record inside of Airtable. It then creates all of these records down here, which we can go through and then click not approved, approved, whatever we wanted to do. It will then aggregate that back into one item and upload that video into Canva. So that will go into our videos file here. We can then simply bring that across into our Canva file. And then we choose one of the headlines that we've created, or maybe we'll do a little bit of an edit that we've created inside of here. Add that to our Canva reel here in the template that we've got. Download that video and then upload it into the video meme file tab here. We then check all of this. We add in a scheduled date. We add in a scheduled time. We make sure that we're going to post to the right platforms. We check our post description and comment. Maybe we'll make some edits there. And then if we're happy with that, we will then schedule the next post to social media. From there, it pulls in all of that information that we need. It creates the code required for Metrical, uploads it to Metrical, and then it will change our status to published to say that it has been published. So once we have gone through all of this list, we'll just determine, maybe we want to create another video with the same background. When someone suggests we should play with our wars, that's no good. So maybe we'll go not approved for that one. My reaction to when my teammate calls a ball out that was clearly in by a mile, not really that good. So we're not going to approve that either. So essentially we could create multiple videos or multiple memes from that one video. We could then just come into our Canva design and maybe we'll change the background image. So we could simply just go like duplicate this And then we could change the background image to maybe this file here. So we come in, we remove this file in the back here, we add in this one, push that to the back, add in a new headline, and then we've essentially got multiple clips, multiple memes from the one clip. So that's what I like about this method. Now we do have a better way to view this as well. So we can look at our AI output field, and now we have all of the outputs generated in here as well. So we've structured this in a way of to do, in progress, and then scheduled. So you can see all of your scheduled, and then in all records, we can see the not approved ones as well. So you can simply just come into here and you can say, okay, let's put that one in progress because we want to actually do something with that one. When my doubles partner misses their third smash in a row, maybe we want to do something with that one. Not that funny. Me hearing someone say they don't need to warm up before playing paddle. Not that funny. So you can go through from this list and put everything into the right status from here. So this is just like another dashboard that we can actually use. So let's put this on up the top here. So we'll call this like headline AI output. We'll call this AI output plus scheduling. Then we've got our brand assets in this one. And let's just fix up this field here. And we've got our AI models in this one. So in order to add an AI model, you can simply just come up to this button here and add your AI model into this field here. If you need to delete an AI model, then you can delete it from here as well. So we'll probably delete a lot of those out, but that is basically the workflow. So if you are interested in these automation templates inside of N8N, they are available for free. And if you want to get the entire system, then it's available in a bundle as well. So we'll have it set up instructions of how you set all of this up. So rather than spending 3 hours building it like you've just seen me do, then you can actually just spend a couple of hours setting up this workflow, or not even a couple of hours, like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on what integrations you need to do to set up this workflow. And then you can start making your own customizations inside of the system rather than building it from scratch. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's getting way too dark for me. I need to go and eat some food. But if you are interested in more videos, more build videos just like this one, then make sure you watch this video next. See you there.